What's up, everybody? NSX Gaming back with our second annual Game Awards show. We're hosted live this time on Twitch by the one and only Green Sween. What's up, Sween?
Dude, ready to talk some video games. The Game Awards, even though I will say 2021 was a little bit of a lacking year, there were some hidden gems within the year, and we're going to discuss how we feel about all of them, guys. So get ready. We got the Twitch chat here giving us some feedback as we go. So it's going to be a good one, guys, and we're excited to talk to you guys. It's been about 2.5 months since we did a show. Before I did live streaming, this is where it all started. It was a podcast, and now here we are after 2.5 months doing a new segment that we did last year, but we're doing it a little bit revised this time around. So I hope you guys really enjoy this one.
Revised and better. Revised and better. Don't forget.
Revised and better, and don't forget, I want you guys to be involved in the chat. I want you guys to give your opinions. I want you guys to give your feedback. We'll take votes. We'll see what you guys think. We're going to have a good time tonight. So hope you guys stick around and enjoy this segment. We'll be back on the World of Warcraft later, of course. But for now, it's time to talk all video games, all things gaming, in the Game Awards 2021. Jeff Keighley hosting it December 9th?
Yes, December 9th.
Before we get into any of this, because we really didn't talk about this, I want to hit you with a surprise question. Do you think there's going to be any surprise announcements?
I mean, of course there is. Of course there is.
Of course there is.
We've never not had some amazing announcements. Jeff's been teasing one on Twitter that he's been working on for 2.5 years. So, yeah, there's going to be some big stuff. There's always big stuff there.
I'm gonna make my prediction right now.
All right.
I'm gonna predict one game, and I really want to see it. I want to see a release date for Skate 4.
I don't know. It's a little early for a release date, but I'd like to see like first gameplay of it.
All right, first gameplay, and they say like late 2022. Not even a full-on release date, but give us a window. Give us a window.
That I'll take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see just a lot of stuff announced for 2022. Like you said in the beginning, 2021 was a little bit of a down year, which was kind of predicted to us because COVID really messed everything up. I'd like to see everything getting back on track and us getting a lot of our big games. I saw someone in your chat, I'm sorry that I didn't catch the name, mentioned that God of War got delayed already. So let's get all of these games out. No more delays for 2022. That's my plan.
Yeah, that's that heavy in the chat. That heavy, a long time fan. He actually just wrote PlayStation Plus about to drop Mortal Shells next week for free. Massive Souls-like game.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. What else? I meant to tell you before we went live, but we're live. I'll just say it. Nintendo announced they're adding the original Paper Mario to the N64 expansion pack, Nintendo Switch Online stuff.
I didn't know that.
December 10th.
Nice, not bad. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
Andy Kim wants to know what's going on with Fallout.
I mean, I'd love to hear some more Fallout stuff, but last I checked, Bethesda's like all in on Starfield right now.
Starfield.
So that's really my Fallout for this year. And that's going to come up in this, so we're definitely going to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, let me ask you before we do dive in. Interesting question. I want to give this question to the chat as well. Which one do we hear about first? The next Elder Scrolls or the next Fallout?
What do you mean by hear about?
Like, which one are we going to get news for? What are we going to see first? What are we going to get a name for first? Elder Scrolls?
Well, we already have the name of Elder Scrolls 6. They showed the name, the logo, a little brief snippet of a camera going over some land. And we know that it's coming after they finish Starfield. So Fallout won't be till after that.
Oh, but that heavy brings up an awesome point, though. Fallout New Vegas 2 or Elder Scrolls 6?
I mean, if you're getting New Vegas 2, it's not from Bethesda. It'll be, they won't be developing it. It'll be like Obsidian now that Microsoft owns them all. That's an interesting prospect.
Yeah. Majority of chat says Elder Scrolls for sure. I agree with Elder Scrolls, definitely.
Well, I mean, like, they came out and said that the official team is working on Elder Scrolls 6 right after Starfield. They're, like, preliminary work right now, and when Starfield's done, they'll move on to that. But Dad Heavy is right. I mean, New Vegas actually is an Obsidian game from back then, so they absolutely could be doing another one right now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And as far as the show, I know you made your prediction. I predict that we see Fable. We're going to see in-game Fable.
Oh, yeah, I would love to see Fable.
It's been a long time. I want to see Fable so bad because I know that Fable is built on the Forza Horizon 5 graphics engine, so I can't wait to see what they do with that. That's going to be incredible.
I'm really excited myself too, and you know what, dude? I don't even know if it's still on sale, but Fable was just on sale. The Fable anniversary for Fable 1 was on sale for $8, down from $35 on Steam recently, and I really wanted to pick up that deal, and I think I might have just missed my window, unfortunately. Or I don't know, it was December. I can't remember if it was the 1st or the 3rd. I have to check after this, but if you guys are definitely checking, maybe check that out in the chat real quick. But $8 for Fable 1 remastered. And I've heard Fable 1 is the best Fable, and I've never played it. I've only played 2 and 3, so.
Also, for the record, if you're Xbox users and have Game Pass, it's included.
Fable 1 is?
Yeah, Fable Anniversary. All Fables are, actually. They're all
on PC, though?
Nope, on Xbox.
Gotcha,
they might be on the PC version, too. I haven't looked. You know
I don't think so. I think I would have noticed
Xbox
it.
Mostly.
I think I would have noticed it, but hey, either way.
So we got anything else we want to throw out here? Any questions from your chat before we start going on to this?
No, I think we should move along, and then like as we go, like if chat has any questions, we'll definitely answer you guys as we go along. We'll definitely be giving you guys a couple of little surveys to go across, get you guys feedback too. So.
All right, so I do have the awards list now. We did say we're not going to do all of them. You know, there's 30. I'm going to be real. You know me, I'm not an esports guy, so those 5 don't interest me at all.
I can already tell you right now. Best esports game, Halo 2. Best esports athlete, Walshy, Ogre 1 and Ogre 2. Best esports team, Final Boss. Best esports coach, Ron Rivera. And best esports event, Green Swing Streams. So there you go.
There we go. There we go.
Right there.
I like
Easy,
that.
no problem. Knock it out of the door. I don't know how Ron Rivera got best esports coach, but whatever. Give it to him, I guess, right?
All right.
But yeah, we decided to skip a couple of these awards. Obviously, there's 30 awards. We're not going to go all crazy on you guys. We're just going to kind of touch the base of the ones that really piqued our interest, as well as I feel like are just the most generally interesting. Like, sorry, guys, we're not going to tell you what the best mobile game is. If you guys want to try out Retro Bowl, that's kind of fun to pass some time, I guess. But other than that, I have no idea what to tell you. I'm not a phone mobile guy. So, yeah, let's talk about the first award.
I can't stand it. All right, so I got action queued up first. Best action game, we've got Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. I'm going to be honest right here, I barely played Chivalry 2, so my opinion of that is not going to be really deep, but I put a decent amount of time into the rest of these. Do you want to go first? Do you want me?
Yeah, you can go first on this, pretty much.
All right, so I'm going to tell you first off, I think the game that's going to win this is Back 4 Blood. And I don't know how much you played it when it came out. It is really fun. It does feel a lot like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. I had a ton of fun with it when I was playing with friends. I think solo, it's the most boring experience in a zombie game I've played. But for me, the answer here is Returnal. Returnal is absurdly fun. It's one of those like Dead Cells like roguelite shooters where you go through, you die, you start at the beginning, but you still know everything you did, and it makes it a little easier to go through the next time. Takes about 4 hours to finish. I've only finished it once. The last boss and the third boss are both terrifying, but it's so fun and so rewarding when you do beat the bosses.
Right. Yeah. So, it's interesting. I've only played one game on this list this year, and it's obviously Back 4 Blood. But truthfully, based on what I've watched and seen from gameplay, I wasn't the hugest. Like, Back 4 Blood was fun. I just really didn't sink too much time into it. I really want to get Chivalry 2, dude. Every time I watch gameplay of that game, it's so badass. The fact you can cut someone's head off, dude, and then just throw someone's head as a weapon, that game is insane. It's just a massive 50v50 war. Oh, we got Aqua 518 in here, a longtime supporter of the NSX podcast is in here. We got chat on the screen. Aqua. Yeah, Aqua's here in the chat right now as we speak. He's watching the Aqua. This is being pre-recorded live for YouTube too. We got the chat on the screen. You're now a part of the NSX podcast Green Swing live stream Game Awards show. Heck yeah, dude.
Sween, take a breath in the middle of all that. Sounded like you was gonna pass out at the end.
I don't like breathing.
No, that's awesome. Aqua's in here.
No, but yeah, dude, I agree.
Guy that got you hooked on Rocket League. Yeah.
Right, dude. But I think honestly, I think the game that's gonna win this It's tough. I could see Deathloop really putting up a competition, but I do think ultimately my vote's gonna go to Back for Blood as well.
Yeah. All of these games are good. I did play Little Chivalry 2. It's fun. It's fun. I grabbed it right when it came out. Me and Sean, you know Sean, we were playing together a little bit. It's after you learn how to like parry and counter after a parry, it's really fun. You can take out like two guys at once with one big sword swing.
Yeah.
And it's hectic. There's games that I went into that I died in 5 seconds, and games that I lasted to the end. And I had a blast.
If you, when you die, are you out for good?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what mode you're in, though.
Fun. I wanna get that for sure. I'm gonna have to get that. Maybe we're gonna stream that soon. We'll have to see. Hopefully you guys own it. Maybe I can get some friends on it. Chivalry 2 could be it. Says that heavy. Back for Blood is great, but only with friends, like Red Cloud said. Yeah, I agree 100%. It was only fun with friends, and it wasn't even really that like addictive though. Like I got off after an hour or two. Like it was fun. I'm not sitting here at all hating on the game. I'm just not the biggest zombie adventure game. Even like Left 4 Dead, like it was a great game, and I admire what it is for what it is. But like, it's not one of those games I can get hooked on very long. It's the same thing with COD Zombies, and you know that, Red Cloud Gamer. You tried to get.
Yeah, I tried. I tried hard, but you know what? They decided to go and butcher COD Zombies for me this year, so maybe I'm not on it that much anymore either.
But yeah, we both say Back for Blood. So.
All right, so we'll move it on. Next one, we did have Best Action. Now we got Action Adventure.
Oh.
This one is a little tougher. There's only one game here I haven't played at all. That's Resident Evil Village. The other 4 are all great. So I started the last one. Give me what you got for this one.
So obviously, you know, I've been playing Metroid Dread as you got me it recently, knowing I just really didn't have the funds to be getting a Nintendo game just because, you know,
Merry Christmas.
Going on. And right, Merry Christmas, a little early Christmas gift. I appreciate it, brother. Metroid Dread is phenomenal, dude. It's a really fun game. I've been playing it on my off time, kind of just like in handheld mode and everything like that. Really, really fun. Ratchet and Clank is super good. My problem is like, is that in the category of Game of the Year? And, well, it can win multiple awards, right? Because, whatchamacallit? Jesus, why can't I think of the name of the game?
The Game Awards. The Last of Us won almost all the awards the one year. You can absolutely win more than one, yeah.
Last of Us 2, yeah. It was crazy. Narrative, everything, story direction. So yeah, I have to go Ratchet Clank. I don't even think it's really up for debate. That game was really, really good. So, graphically, gameplay wise, I just think it was the most breathtaking out of that list of 5.
Out of this list, again, I didn't play Resident Evil Village. I haven't finished 7, so I didn't really want to start Village. I know it is like a direct continuation. But I'm currently playing Guardians of the Galaxy. That game's great. I think it's going to win one of these categories that we come up to, but not this one. Graphics are great. Gameplay is great. Everything about it is great. Just not on the level of 2 of these other games. Psychonauts 2, I really enjoy. I'm about halfway through it. But it's just a game that hasn't really driven me to finish it, so I don't think that it should win this award. The other 2 games I played straight through. Metroid Dread, I absolutely loved. The gameplay was great. Playing a Metroid that was like from my childhood, just looking much, much better. The suit evolving as you go. I did hate the EMMIs, but I like hated them in a good way. They were a real challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think it was a bad
They're
mechanic.
crazy.
It was just I hated it when they killed me.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. It gets you like, it gives you chills, dude. Like when you're running from those things, it's low key kind of scary.
It did annoy me that I only like out of the whole game, I think I only blocked their attack twice. But yeah, I loved Dread, but Ratchet and Clank wins this. Story was great, gameplay was great, graphics were great. The use of the SSD going from dimension to dimension instantly, just I mean, it blew me away. It really made me feel like that PS5 was worth it, even though I don't use the thing that much. So for me, it's Ratchet and Clank easily. Then I'd say Metroid Dread, but I never played Village, so maybe I'm wrong. But for me, I'm not. Just that simple.
Red Dead 2 swept everything in their year, but lost Game of the Year to God of War 4. That's interesting to think about too.
It's weird to hear someone say God of War 4. I mean, I know that, you know, technically it is, but like, I've always just referred to it because it's the new start of the games. It's just God of War again. That's strange, but hey.
Yeah. But we agree, Ratchet and Clank. Even though Metroid Dread is definitely a hard two, it very well could win, and
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Metroid Dread win that.
Especially because so many Nintendo fans really, really, really loved it and got hyped for it. So that always helps a lot too. We'll see.
All right, so we moving on.
Yeah.
Boom. Best art direction, sir.
Kina.
Yeah,
Kina.
This is another one. I played 4 of these games. The Artful Escape I haven't played. You know me, I'm not really big on indie games. I rarely play them, although Kina is obviously an indie, and I loved it.
I will say I do like that art style, though. I will say, just looking at that, that's a nice little art style. Looking at that guitar and the character model, that's pretty cool. Almost reminds me of like a little Borderlands kind of touch to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at these 5 games, I would pick Kina. I played it. It's dope. It does look like a Pixar movie come to life kind of deal. It's from that Ember Lab studio that did that amazing Majora's Mask CG video that we watched a couple years back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it looks great. It does. I think because best art direction is less about your overall graphic quality and more about the style you go with, that Psychonauts 2 wins this. I would pick Kina, but Psychonauts 2 has a crazy, dude, I've never done drugs, bro. I've never done drugs in my life. The only time I've ever been, technically high was when I took some hydrocodone because I broke my leg. You remember. I think that if I did some serious drugs, Psychonauts 2 is what the world would look like to me. And that is art direction. So
that is art direction.
Yeah.
Art is drugs. Moral of the story, chat, art is drugs.
Art
Just remember
is drugs. That's exactly how it works.
No, I respect your opinion. I could probably see you being right on that. I just think Kina also has, I remember, seeing that presentation being like, wow.
I see Dad Heavy. I hope I'm saying that right. Dad Heavy? Is that
Heavy.
Death Heavy or I think Dad Heavy. I'm going with Dad Heavy.
It's Dad Heavy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, buddy. But I see that you got me with it looks numerically it's 4 and then 5, but you got to keep in mind Ascension is there, and even though it's a prequel, it's the 4th game in the series. So wouldn't that technically make this 5 and 6?
Interesting. Well, this is where we finally got a different vote. I got Kina, you got Psychonauts.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I got Kina. I just think they're gonna pick Psychonauts. I would pick Kina if I had a vote that mattered here. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we got Family next. I know you actually told me earlier what your pick for Family is, and I totally agree. So why don't you take this away?
Well, this is one where I really almost played every game on this except for one. And the only game I have not played on this list is It Takes Two. And you're probably like, when the hell did you play WarioWare? I played it in a Walmart for 2 hours. So, I mean, I know you can't count that, but I played it. Good game, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not good. New Pokemon Snap. My thing is, it was good, but...
My thing is... You were so excited for Pokemon Snap that I hate the fact that you're now saying my thing is. They obviously underdelivered because you had all the hype in the world for this to be the best game ever made type deal.
I love Pokemon Snap. But here's the thing is, I really look back to where it started and what they added in the game now, and it's 20 years later. They just didn't do enough, in my opinion. It wasn't long enough. I was hyped. I was extremely hyped. And unfortunately, it just kind of fell off for me. I wouldn't even put it as the second best one on this. Believe it or not, I would say the second best game on this list is Super Mario 3D World. Bowser Fury. I did like 3D World and Bowser Fury. Bowser Fury was a really good add-on. It's probably one of the best Mario experiences I've ever had. I wish it was kind of full flesh. But that was the thing about Pokemon Snap. Yeah, Paco Jocko, I agree 100%. That was the issue. It was when I picked it up, it was a good-looking game. It was fun to play, but just lack of content. And even the DLC, it just wasn't enough really to draw me back in. My favorite game on this list by far, yet another game you got me. You got me a bundle of games, right? You got me Metroid Dread, and then, honestly, the banger out of the two was really Mario Party Superstars. I played it local with Aqua. I played it online. The game runs phenomenal online. They have a bunch of unique different features to where you can not only play mini games only online, you could play sport mini games, 2v2 mini games, 1v3 mini games, and get ranks.
Hang on. Did you just say a Nintendo game runs phenomenally online?
I know, dude. Mario Party runs phenomenally online. Meek is in the house. MVR to Meek. What is up, dude? We're doing a Game Awards segment talking about the Game Awards coming up on December 9th. We're talking about the best of the best. So welcome aboard, buddy.
Dude, those words just don't go together, man.
Dude, I know. But, dude, Mario Party is arguably the best running Switch game online.
Nice, man. Nice.
I have zero lag during the mini games. I have zero lag during the games. And not to mention that they have mini games like based on what you want to play, and they have like ranking systems on that. It just that all right. And I know I say some shit sometimes that's a little overboard. That's definitely the best Mario Party game of all time because it really has the best of every Mario Party.
I would say that I haven't played all of the Mario Parties, but the time I put with that one, I agree. I haven't played online, but I played on one system with the kids, and then I played. I got 2 copies, so I played like from one system to the other with a group of us, and there was no problems with it running. It's fun. It's fun. I do wish there was another stage, and there's only 5 stages, and it's 2 from 1, 2 from 2, but 1 from 3. I feel like there should have been another one. Maybe they'll add it at some point.
I think they will. I think they'll do like a 2-3 stage DLC with a couple more mini games. That would be nice. I would buy it because the game really runs good. You could tell the passion was there. A lot of collectibles that you can unlock that you have to play for, and there's a whole achievement system, bro, built into the game with over like 150 achievements. I don't even know what you get. I'm trying to figure it out, dude. I really want to play that game a lot more. I really enjoyed it a lot so far.
You know what's funny is I really like the achievement system that's in there. The little, I didn't know it was 150. You said 150, so I'll trust you.
It's around that. Don't trust me.
The only thing that kind of irked me with it is like I still feel like it's weird that Nintendo hasn't delivered a legitimate achievement system to the Switch.
I know.
Because they've had a couple games that had good ones. So it's like, can you just give us a system level achievement deal? I would like that.
I think the Switch sold a lot of people initially, and then just because of that, they just started slacking. Where's backgrounds on the Switch? Where's Netflix on the Switch? I waited long enough for it all, just having a Switch only. I don't even want to get into it, but maybe someday, eventually, they'll put all that on there.
Yeah, I got you to go back to the world of PC, and you've kind of forgotten about your Switch a little bit.
What, Nintendo?
Yeah.
No.
My take on these games, I played a little bit of Pokemon Snap, but I watched Tiffany play almost all of it. It's really cool, but like you said, it kind of feels like they just remade the original. I know they didn't just remake it, but like they didn't do anything that was like next level revolutionary and blew me away. It felt like just a very safe retooling of what they did 20 years ago. I would have liked more. Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, I'm lying when I say I played. I did play Mario 3D World when it was brand new on the Wii U. I did not play it again on the Switch, but the game was great then, so I'm going to say it's great now. WarioWare I didn't play. And It Takes Two I have, and I haven't played because I haven't had a second person that was interested in playing it, and it's one of those games that requires it. But it's also nominated for Game of the Year, and the reviews are, like, really good. So it might be the one that deserves this win, but based on what I played, it's got to go to Mario Party.
Nominated for Game of the Year?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Wow. All right.
It's a couple of the websites that put up their lists have It Takes Two on it. So I was surprised because I didn't play it, but I remember when it came out, there wasn't that much hype around it. Normally, you kind of get that hype right away. A game comes out, and they're like, oh, this might be Game of the Year material. I didn't hear that when It Takes Two came out.
It's my first time even hearing about the game.
No. We talked about it on the podcast a while back.
Did we?
Yeah, it's from the people that did that Prison Breakout game. Remember we were talking about the prison game? A Way Out?
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
But all right, let's not stick with this too long. That was family. Let's move on to game. We're just going alphabetical right now, except for like the important ones. So, best game direction.
These are a lot of the same games.
Yeah.
That kind of sums up 2021. Best game direction.
Well, I mean, that kind of sums up a lot of years. Like when you get to the Game Awards, normally the real standout games stand out in multiple categories.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, between these 5, I would probably have to say Ratchet and Clank with all the, like, modern improvements aside from graphics. But just like, even when you walk into like the big cities and all the cars are flying around, but like the ray tracing, implemented into Ratchet and Clank, I think like the future of gaming was really displayed in Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I played that game. I loved that game. The ray tracing blew me away. I played it 3 times because they had 3 different modes to play it in. It looked and played great in all of them. I've talked about several of these games already. It Takes Two. I got to get around to playing. Maybe I'll con you into playing it with me.
Maybe.
I actually think the game that wins this is from Arcane Studios, Deathloop. I have it. It's sitting right here next to me right now. I don't have my camera, so you can't see me, but it's sitting next to me on my PlayStation. It's one of the only physical games I bought. That game is amazing, man. I mean, it's Arcane Studios. Anyone that's in your chat that knows Arcane Studios, they know Prey, they know Dishonored, they know that's a company that makes some of the best games in the world. It's one of the big things that I got excited for when Microsoft bought Bethesda. Which is crazy that now technically a Microsoft game is a PlayStation exclusive that might be one of the best games of the year. Oh, I'm looking at your chat. Yeah. Your boy Aqua said he's going back to the Cowboys game. Have a good night.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Aqua. We'll probably be going for a bit because we've still got several more categories to go, and Sween will keep streaming for a while after this.
Oh, you know it.
And your Cowboys should win fine. The Saints aren't even that good.
Yep, I agree.
And I think they said Kamara's out too, so come on.
I heard he was questionable coming in. I didn't know, but aside from that.
But yeah, I'm going Deathloop here. I think Arcane pulls this one. You're probably going to hear me say Deathloop another time or two tonight, too.
Okay, yeah. I still go Ratchet and Clank, but I mean, I could see Psychonauts even getting it, too.
I could. I mean, these games being nominated means any of them could, but Deathloop stands out to me. Like, I'm definitely going to pick it for at least one more. I could have said Returnal here. I could have said Ratchet and Clank. All of the games I played here are great. So, damn it.
Kamara's out. Kamara's out.
I got to stop looking at the screen because it's getting me wanting to pick repick my choice here. So I'm sticking with Deathloop. Locked in. Deathloop. There you go.
Signs in to vote. No,
I already voted.
No, I know. Oh, you did? Like, actually?
Yeah, I voted when I was taking all these screenshots from the website.
Nice.
All right, you ready for the next category?
I am.
Boom. Best indie game. I know you're surprised that I threw this one up. I hadn't selected it when we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, then you saw Kino was on there, and we already knew our answer.
You know what?
If it's not Kino, I don't know what it is.
I knew you were gonna say that, and guess what? It's 12 minutes.
What?
It is, man.
No way.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm telling you right now, I like Death Door's little art style there. That's very fantasy-like.
I've heard great things about Death's Door, and I've been too lazy to play it. This time of year, I start working like crazy. I don't have a day off till Christmas at this point, so.
Yeah.
I love Kena, but I haven't finished it. I'm more than halfway through, but I'm not done. 12 minutes, I was hooked. I played right through. I got all the achievements. It is as the name kind of implies, a fairly short game. I was able to beat the entire thing in a day. But it was a really cool little experience, like a old point-and-click style computer game. And I really enjoyed like going through each loop, figuring out what the hell was going on, seeing what I could change, doing dumb stuff like electrocuting myself for the hell of it.
Yeah.
It was a really cool game. That or Kena could easily win this based on what I've played. All these games are nominated, so I'm sure that someone thinks that the other ones should win. But I'd give it to 12 minutes.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Dad Heavy agrees. If not Kena, 12 minutes. So one of us is right. Thank you, Dad Heavy.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we'll see.
All right. So just like, we don't really play indies, we can skip right past that topic. We don't need to talk anymore about it. Next one. Best performance. This one's a little tough for me. I love Giancarlo Esposito in like everything I've ever seen him in. I thought he was okay in Far Cry 6. In movies and TV shows, phenomenal. In that game, I didn't finish it, so maybe he gets better as I go. But he was just alright. And Erica Mori is Alex Chen in the newest Life is Strange, which you really got to check it out if you're into those, like experience the narrative type games, the Telltale games or the Life is Strange games. I personally haven't played it, but I've watched it played right here in front of me, and I've played the other Life is Strange games. I'm not going to play through this one until the kids finish it, but she could get it. I personally am going to skip Colt Vaughn from Deathloop, which, that's my choice for another thing. I didn't play Resident Evil Village, so I can't talk about the giant lady that everybody loves. I'm definitely going with Juliana Blake. I can't say her actual name. It's like Ozioma Akiga. I can never say it. I heard someone say it, and it's not said the way it's spelled. Yeah, because I said it how it's spelled, and it was like, oh, that's not how it's said? Damn. But yeah, Juliana Blake was just... It was so fun listening to everything she said in that game. I'd play through that game a couple more times, like, start to finish, just to see how many lines she recorded and all the stuff she says. It's dope. She does great. And, I mean, Colt Vaughn did great, and like I said, Esposito might do better as I get further in the game. It's not that he did bad, he just didn't stand out as much as he did in, like, Breaking Bad,
Yeah, for this one, I have to say Erica Moret is probably going to win the best performance. Mori, whatever. As Alex Chen, just because I remember seeing Life is Strange True Colors. It was very high when it was coming to the Nintendo Switch. A lot of people were very, very high on it, and I know it was like a very emotional driven game. So I feel like solely like when you have a game with a lot of emotion poured in it and it's solely based around emotion, I feel like that's gonna kind of give you a best performance standout compared to these other games that have a lot of other big characters around them, right? Because when you say Far Cry 6, it's like, yeah, but there's a lot of other big characters. Like you see Deathloop has 2 candidates, so there's like a toss-up, right? Where her playing Alex Chen, there is no competition really stacking against her, so her performance tends to stand out a bit more in her game, if you ask me. But that's my opinion, applying logic to what I would think. And Ramen XO has returned. Welcome to the chat, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
You know what? You're probably right. The Life is Strange games always have excellent performances. The first one was like one of the few games that really emotionally resonated with me. I sat there for like 20 minutes after I finished it, like, damn, I can't believe that happened.
Just cried.
No, I did not cry. No, I don't think a game has brought me to tears ever. I think a movie did it once. But, I mean, if a game could, it'd probably be from the Life is Strange people, because they do write really realistic, really, like, lived-in worlds and really human characters that you can relate to. So, she probably will win. I just didn't play through and finish the game and experience enough of her to vote for her. So, for me, it's Juliana Blake over here. You might be right, though.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Time will tell.
Yep. So, we're getting there, man. We're off performance. On to a category I'm actually going to, like, really be sad about myself because I didn't play anywhere near enough of these this year to, like, call myself an RPG lover like I truly am.
Oh, man. Wow, this one is tough. So, obviously, there's one specific that obviously, that that I like, and then there's one I talked a huge amount of shit about on this list.
Oh, yeah, I wonder what that one is. Maybe the one that's got Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah, I talked a lot of shit about Cyberpunk.
I mean, there's still a lot of shit to talk. Like, it's been a year and the game's still not 100% fixed. I said back then, I'll say it again, it should have never came to the now last-gen crop of systems. The PC minimum specs are higher than what PS4 and Xbox One are by a wide margin. It never should have been there. I don't know if that was a developer decision, a publisher decision. It never should have happened. It should have only been on next-gen systems and high-end PCs, and we wouldn't have had as many complaints. I know it runs better now. I did check out a stream the other day to see that it was working a little better. I'm going to play it when they release the actual patch for Series X and PS5. Series X in particular for me. I have it sitting behind me.
Oh,
I know.
hold on one second. Sorry to cut you off, but Ramen XO, he asked if I could make the screen bigger, and I don't want to put us through that again, God forbid. Ramen, if you were here prior to when we started the show, we were trying to fit the screen onto the screen, and that didn't go so bad or so good. So I'm just gonna read you the category and read you the names as we go. So right now we're on the best role-playing game of 2021, and we have Cyberpunk 2077 by CD Projekt Red. We have Monster Hunter Rise by Capcom, Scarlet Nexus by Bandai Namco, Shin Megami Tensei 5 by Atlas Sega, and Tale of Arise by Bandai Namco. So we're just discussing that right now. And from the future here on out, I'll be reading the category and then the titles of every game after. So my apologies, Red Claw. Did not mean to cut you off. I just wanted to answer that in the chat. So he knew what we were talking about as we go here, kind of deal.
Right.
Got some old eyes, he says. I get it. My eyes suck too, so.
Cyberpunk, like I said, man, until they patch it, I can't really make a valid opinion on it. It does piss me off, though, because Cyberpunk came out last year, and I know, like, it didn't make the cut to be in last year's Game Awards show, which is probably for the best, because it never would have gotten nominated. But it didn't make the cut last year because it came out, like, too late in December or whatever they said. This year, somehow, Forza Horizon 5, I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but no one nominated it for Game of the Year, and when they were asked why, they said they had to submit their Game of the Year nominations before the rest. So it's going to be on the list for Racing Game of the Year, and I honestly think it is one of the best games of the year. So it's absurd that they had a different time frame to submit each category. That makes no sense to me. It was stupid. I'm going to knock Cyberpunk out of here. Monster Hunter Rise, I barely played. You played and loved, so you're going to take that one away. Scarlet Nexus, I hated. I played about an hour and a half of that. Maybe if I got further into it, I might enjoy it, but I don't think I'll ever love it. When I hate a game in an hour and a half, I think it can never be great. I've never been a big fan of the Shin Megami games. They are good. I have a lot of friends that really love them. I think they're good games that just don't really appeal to me. And the Tales games I've loved since I was playing on PS1. I barely played Tales of Arise. I bought it in this Black Friday sale or holiday sale, whatever they called it on the Xbox. That game's awesome. So I didn't play Monster Hunter Rise that much. I'm gonna give it to Tales of Arise. You take it away now.
So for me, this comes down to ultimately Monster Hunter Rise versus Shin Megami Tensei 5 because I know how big Shin Megami Tensei is. Not here, but in the East. But it's tough because I know Monster Hunter Rise not only did good overseas, but it also did good here. That's where I'm leaning towards Monster Hunter Rise, honestly.
Honestly, it's nice to see that Monster Hunter in general is doing better here. It's a game that's always been wildly successful in Japan, but never really picked up here until Monster Hunter World, and now Rise.
Here's my problem: is I feel like that was also lacking content, but they're also about to come up with a major update in about a month or two. So
right in January, aren't they?
Yeah, with the PC update and the next big expansion. So we'll see how it goes from there. But the gameplay was really fun. It ran really well on Switch. I think just the fact that it ran on the Switch the way it did automatically gives the best role-playing game on this.
Yeah, there was a period that you and I both thought that what they were showing was on some sort of Switch Pro because it looked better than what we expected.
I expected Monster Hunter Rise to run like Cyberpunk 2077 at launch, but didn't. So there it is.
Well, a good thing they did, remember, was the little beta early on because we do have an episode of our podcast where you complained about some of the lag and whatnot in the beta, and then in the second beta, it was mostly gone. In the final game, you were on the podcast praising it, hey, the lag is gone. They fixed it.
And and it was if you had over 100 friends on your friends list that you lagged. It was weird, but they fixed it.
Yeah, that's a weird glitch to have.
They fixed it by the second beta. They did 2 betas. I don't know if you remember.
I'm going Tales of Arise. Your final answer, Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Next one. I added this. I know when we talked, we didn't say we were going to do this one. You said you were interested, but I wasn't. I ended up adding best score in music after I looked at the choices here. So, I just take it away. Tell me what you got here.
Uh, you know what, dude? I'm gonna go with the Artful Escape because it's got a guitar in it.
So you didn't play any of these, is what you're saying to me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yo, I played Deathloop. I thought the score was great. It really fits like when you get into heavy action, the music really picks up. It makes you feel connected to everything. But out of all of these games, and I have played Nier, I'm playing Guardians, I've played Deathloop. I did not play the other two, although I watched a decent amount of Cyberpunk. The Guardians of the Galaxy score is freaking amazing, man. There's so many like 80s music that just
I guess
fits.
that I was gonna guess that had a huge chance. That was definitely
I know you haven't played it, but when you play, there's like this mechanic where you're in the middle of a battle and you kind of build up like a super team move because you only play as Star-Lord. The rest of the team is there and you can like direct them to do stuff, but you are Star-Lord. And then there's like a super move you unleash where you kind of huddle with the team. You're given choices of what to say. Like, each character will say they're worried about something or, you know, we should do this, whatever, and you'll side with or against them and try to motivate the team. And then it starts playing some, like, Eye of the Tiger shit, and you just start wrecking house to some 80s music, and it's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. So I'm giving it to Guardians of the Galaxy, even though I haven't finished it. I love it already, and I'm only, I don't know, 6-7 hours in.
Nice.
Yeah. So we did that one in. This one you demanded, actually. And we already know what you're picking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, man, but there's some good games out there.
There are, but there's one that's better than the rest.
Forza Horizon 5,
there you go.
But, dude, I'll tell you what. Riders Republic, I played the beta for it. It was fun. And I really, 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 really want to get Hot Wheels Unleashed so freaking bad, dude.
I didn't know you didn't have it. I have Hot Wheels Unleashed, and I really enjoy it. It's,
really?
There's a nice track editor where you can make some crazy tracks, and other people load up some crazy tracks.
I saw that. You can download other people's tracks online?
Yeah, you can test out all the stuff.
Right.
I do think there's a little bit too much of a grind to it. When you play it, like, you can't buy money. Like, you can't use your real funds to buy the stuff.
Good.
And I do normally think that's really good. But they also have, like, the price of the in-game things are just too high. Like, it takes you, like, 10, 12 races to be able to get a car. And I don't think that really works well in a more action-y game. Like, in a Gran Turismo game, that's perfect. I don't mind grinding out for hours on end. But a Hot Wheels game, I'm not going to play those long stretches. I'm going to play in 20 and 30-minute spurts. And I think that I should be able to unlock a car in my 20 or 30-minute spurt. Also, I think next year, Game Awards, don't put these categories together. Like, sports and racing, separate them. Because there's too many damn games to fit in there.
Yeah.
Although there's not that many great sports games.
I'm so glad to not see Madden up there.
Yeah, Madden has not been on the best sports or racing game
you know what,
in a long damn time.
You could have argued MLB The Show, especially with the coming to Xbox this year, but...
No, absolutely. You know, it got rave reviews early on. It was really successful on both systems. It, launched in Game Pass and was still one of the top-selling Xbox titles. I think they're going to continue that relationship for next year, too, I hope. I think that should be here.
I'd definitely throw it out there over F1 2021.
I mean, I didn't play F1, but I did see the reviews were pretty good. Sean loves those games, and I watched him play, not a lot, but a little. It looks good. He said it plays good. I'm going to trust him because he's played a bunch of the F1 games. I'm not into Formula 1 racing.
Right.
There's other games that should be up here, but because you merge sports and racing into one category, this is essentially 4 racing games in FIFA.
Yeah.
I feel like get the sports out of there, get another game in here, and then do a separate sports category.
Jeez, imagine FIFA 22 being the sports game to represent the sports.
I mean, it's soccer's the biggest sport in the world, really, and FIFA is like the most successful sports game. You don't realize FIFA in Europe outsells Madden across the world.
Yeah.
It's not that successful here in the U.S., but neither is soccer. So
right.
We see that Dad Heavy said Forza 5. You're right, man. Forza 5. Although
yeah, you are right.
I can't wait to see Forza 8. The Forza Motorsport 8. That's gonna be the first purpose-built Forza game for only the next-gen systems. I'm dying to see those games that are built just for PS5 and Series X type stuff instead of these cross-gen games, which are great. Forza Horizon 5 is beautiful, but I can't wait to see what Forza looks like when it's not held back by the original Xbox One. Alright, so we're on to those last 5 categories that we wanted to set aside and guarantee that they went when we wanted them. So, narrative. Best story in the games this year. And notice, It Takes Two is in here. That's a hint. You should play it with me.
I'd play it with you.
I'm down. We can live stream it. Be excellent.
Yeah. Why not? You know what? Jeez. I'd probably say Life is Strange again, just because it's very story-driven again, but...
I think Life is Strange is going to win. Maybe It Takes Two. I haven't played, but the story in that prison game was great, so maybe Hazelight Studios knocks it out of the park again. I mean, it's nominated for a bunch of these categories, so they had to have done something right.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of these games, because I've played some of them, I'm going to say Deathloop. But if I played Life is Strange more, I think it would be Life is Strange. What I've seen of it is great, and I've only played a tiny bit.
Right.
So this was one you wanted. Best multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I told you we had a couple on here that have 6.
Oh, man, well, I can tell you which one to cross out right now.
Oh, the WoW guy is telling you he hates New World. You hear that?
I didn't say anything. I'm not even going to say what game it is. But you're right. No, not Valum. You know which one to cross out, Brando. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. No, all jokes aside, dude.
I never agreed to that.
Honestly, if that wins, I will turn off the Game Awards so quick. You know what, dude? I'm gonna give it to the local game studio at Velen Studios. I want to see Knockout City win it. You know what, dude? I'm not gonna lie, that game was actually pretty fun. I had some fun with Knockout City.
I played a little of Knockout City because you told me to, and I did enjoy it. My kids played it, and they seemed to love it. I think I'm going to go for Back 4 Blood. I've enjoyed it more.
Probably going to be something out, but I don't care. I got to vote for my boys at Velen Studios.
I haven't played Monster Hunter Rise multiplayer at all. I don't really do MMOs. I know I shouldn't say that out loud on your channel because it's what's making your bread and butter type deal. I don't hate them. I don't think that I have the time to engage.
I didn't say that, guys.
I did say that. Look, I hope y'all all enjoy them. I can watch Sween play them. I just don't think that I have the time to sit down and really sink the hours into them. I always tell you I want to. I don't have the time. I barely get to play any of these. I've got games on here that I could beat in 12 hours and I haven't beat. Valheim I haven't touched. And I told you I haven't played It Takes Two, but it might win because the game's completely designed for multiplayer. I want to play it. I'm going to play it. Someone's going to play with me. It better be you, Sween.
It better be me is right.
Alright.
I hope I'm right when it comes around and Knockout City pops up. I hope for some reason I'm right, man. That'd be great to see a local product win it all.
Yeah, I'd like that. You know, put us on the map
or
in
some
gaming.
shit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, right?
I get a weird kick out of it when I'm watching like TV or a movie and they mention our cities that we're from. Like, hey, wait a minute, I know that place.
Yeah, right.
All right, next category, content creator of the year, man. So you're a little more into other people's streams and stuff. I only watch a few. I did look everyone up here to see who I liked, who I thought was the best, and what the best feedback was on them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you haven't been reading for the one guy.
Huh?
You said you were going to read the categories and stuff for the guy that can't see.
I think Ramen might end up leaving.
Oh, okay.
I saw shortly after that a couple viewers dropped out, so I haven't seen it type since. Unless he is still in here. So he got definitely, oh, yeah, Meek with the sunglasses on. Heck yeah. KO City, my favorite free game on PlayStation, came out recently. Yeah, the game studio is like, literally 5 minutes right from where I like grew up. So it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only streamer I know out of these guys is Gulls.
So I'm gonna tell you that I looked up all 5 of these guys. Well, I shouldn't say guys. There's a girl on here. All 5 of these content creators, and
Yeah, okay.
look, there's people out there that love all of them. I love that we have so many content creators, regardless of who you think is the best out of these 5. I'm gonna tell you that my personal favorite content creator, outside of myself, because I'm a conceited bastard, is this guy.
Yeah, look at it. Oh my god. Stop it. Get out of here.
Yep. That's the dude.
Wow, yeah. You know what? It's been a year. It's been a good 2 months. I think so.
You know what? I sat here not long ago, 6 months or whatever it was, and I had my good friend tell me that his laptop essentially shit the bed. Just decided, I'm done working. And he was devastated. Let me tell you guys. He was broken. All right? And I'm sitting here. I've got a pretty good computer. It's not top of the line anymore, but I've got a pretty good computer. And he needed one. I had a spare, so I gave it to him, and it spawned everything he's been doing. So I'm happy you put it to use. You gave it more than the hours you promised, and that's awesome.
Yeah. That's what you said. You were like, dude, I just hope you put it to good use. I think it's safe to say I maybe put 1,000 hours into this plus.
I'd be surprised if you're not over 1,000 by now, man.
Yeah,
Some of your streams are like 12 hours, dude.
Yeah, the streams alone are starting
you're
to get
killing
way
it.
towards 1,000.
And it's just good to see that it gets put to use and that you're really enjoying it. We'll have to work on getting it a little upgraded because it is a little out of date. That's probably why we were having an issue with the stream output being streamed to you instead of just the regular screen. So, but yeah, my favorite content creator for this year, probably for next year too, the one and only Green Swing.
Thanks, buddy. That means a lot, dude. Red Cloud Gamer, RBG for fun. We got so many great streamers that I've been. I think in the WoW community, you know what? Dude, we might have to do a World of Warcraft Game Awards. No, dude, but that's awesome. I really, I guess, out of the 5, all jokes aside, I'd have to go with Gauls just because that's the only one I know. But dude, that's great. By the way, now you just showed a bunch of people on my stream preview aside from the people that already saw it.
Yeah, my bad. I gave that away.
No, it's all right. I mean, I already showed it off. For those of you guys that don't know, that's a sneak preview for what we got for the stream overhaul. It's my character in WoW with Thrall in WoW. Pretty cool stuff.
With a little mixed-in cartoon.
With me mixed in now.
Is that a heart on your neck?
Yeah, there it is.
All right, let's take that one down. Let's see the next one. Oh, the next one. You know what? I want to hear from your chat before we say what this is. So we got the most anticipated game for next year. Hopefully these all come out in next year. Elden Ring, we've got a date that's coming early.
Fuck.
And that's the next Souls-like game. God of War Ragnarok is the sequel to one of my Game of the Years from 2018. I got that right before I started my job at the post office. I played the hell out of that game. I love that game. I fought all those stupid freaking Valkyries, including the stupid Queen one that almost made me break a controller, but I didn't. That game was great. This game's going to be great. I cannot wait to play it. Horizon Forbidden West is the sequel to one of my other Game of the Years from 2017. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait for Forbidden West to see what's in store for Aloy. That game had an amazing story, amazing characters, amazing everything. And it's really proof. I don't know if you know, that's Guerrilla Games, the guys that got famous with Killzone. And they had wanted to make Horizon Forbidden West for a while. There was like a prototype for PS2 that leaked online. And Sony just finally was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. You've made us a ton of money with your Killzone games. I'm going to let you make the game you've been wanting to make. And they're not looking back upset because the game was great. The game did well. It did great. And now they've got a sequel that everyone's hyped for. Breath of the Wild, whatever they call it. The sad thing is these two games are next to each other. And I remember when Horizon came out, there was a review, I think it was IGN or maybe it was GameSpot, but they said that Sony had finally done something they'd been trying for 20 years, and they had delivered a true Zelda killer. But it sucked for them because there was a new Zelda coming out in like 5 days, and it was probably going to fix that. And it did. I've only played a couple hours of Breath of the Wild. You freaking loved it. I loved what I played. I can't wait for this. Problem for me is it's the one game on this list I don't think is actually coming out in 2022. And then Starfield we talked about earlier. Look, man, Starfield is the next Bethesda game. They have not failed us yet, really. Oblivion, I loved. Skyrim, I loved. Going way back, Morrowind, I loved. Fallout 3, I loved. New Vegas, we talked about earlier, is actually from Obsidian, but it's oversaw by Bethesda anyway. Loved that. Loved Fallout 4. Gonna love Starfield. Out of these, though, it's tough as hell, but I'm going God of War Ragnarok. Bring it on, Thor.
Yo, you might... Dude, I feel like coming into the year before 2021 happened, I would have said the sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, bro. I need to get a graphics card upgrade soon, bro, because I want to see what Starfield's all about. I love Elder Scrolls, I love Fallout, and I love the idea of Starfield even more. So I want to see what the game has to offer. No, this is an e-cigarette. I have regular cigarettes. 42. But Starfield is the game I think is to be most hyped for next year, to be honest with you. I think Starfield's going to have a lot to offer, and I'm excited to know that I'm going to be playing it day one on my PC through the best service in gaming, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, with my WoW membership included in that too when WoW comes to Xbox next year.
Yeah, we'll see about that last part, but I always agree. Game Pass Ultimate absolutely is the best subscription service in gaming. Like you said, Starfield and everything else that Bethesda and Microsoft and all of the studios that they've been purchasing and however many more they do purchase, all their games are going to come to Game Pass day one on PC, on Xbox. And I know you said you need a new graphics card, but don't forget that you can now stream Xbox Series X quality games to your cell phone, your Xbox One, or your PC over the Xbox Cloud Gaming Service, which is connected to Game Pass Ultimate. So even without an upgrade, you're going to be able to play that at Series X quality.
Yeah.
I'm still going God of War, though. Maybe just because it's sooner. I'm hyped for Starfield, but Starfield's like end of the year. God of War, I'm not waiting that long. I'm getting that early. Although Horizon I am too. Oh, man, don't make me look at them again. You'll change my mind. Stop it.
Yeah,
so I was looking at your chat. I did see Horizon was up there. I think it was Dad Heavy that said it. Yeah, I'm seeing it again. Horizon is going to be my favorite game graphically, just based on the first one. Yeah, man. Horizon Zero Dawn, I loved, and it was more than just like the graphics were amazing. Obviously this is part of the graphics, but like the character design, those robots looked so freaking cool. Learning how to fight each one of them, which one's to trip, which one's to slide under, which ones you can shoot pieces off of and take them to shoot another one. It was great. The new one looks even better. I'm loving the underworld. Underwater parts. I don't know if you're playing PS4 or PS5. I'm going to say that I am concerned that the PS4 version might not run so well with the underwater parts. I know the Digital Foundry video, they brought up some real big concerns about how there's a lot of physics calculations there, and the PS4 is showing its age. So hopefully you're on the PS5 by now, or at least by time that's out. You're probably right. It's up there. When it comes out, I might say that it's actually got me more hyped than God of War. But right now, I just played through God of War again like a month and a half ago, and I loved it. And I'm a little more hyped for that.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn now on Steam. I hope to see more PlayStation games come to Steam, dude. Hopefully in the future.
Well, it's not a hope. We know it's coming. They said it. They're making a point. They've already announced several more. God of War is coming. So you'll get to play through that finally.
Yeah, I know.
You're just not going to get the he has the PS5. Nice. I think my feed of your stream is a little bit behind. I'm seeing the chat after you've already commented on it.
That's
I will say Zero Dawn on Steam, I haven't played it since, but I bought it when it was new because I loved it. And it ran like crap on my RTX 2080. It was a very poorly optimized game. I'm hoping they fixed it since then. Maybe someone in your chat knows if they did. If not, I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube and find out. But at launch, It was really poorly optimized because the game was designed on PS4 with 30 FPS animations built in, so they had to go back and reanimate the game to get it at a higher frame rate, and not all of it was done right.
Right.
Are we ready to move on to the final category?
The final game of the year, of the year, of the year.
Or just one of the year, but sure.
Nope. Of the last 3 years, this is the game. No. Yeah, game of the year.
And last 3 years, nah, you're talking going against Red Dead and God of War, no.
And GTA 5.
No, GTA 5 is 10 years old now. Stop it.
It's game of the year every year.
All right, 6 titles here. I'm going to let you take it away.
I'm going to be honest, it kind of bums me out that these are the 6. This really shows how lacking gaming was this year, to be honest with you, I feel like.
I don't want to say lacking because the 6 games up here are all incredibly highly reviewed. The ones I played are absolutely phenomenal games. I assume the other ones are too. But yeah, like there's not much more beyond this. He said if I see Cyberpunk, it's over. Dude, if Cyberpunk was there, I wouldn't have put this category on.
I think it's Ratchet and Clank.
I've gone back and forth here. You know me, I love Dread, but I don't believe Dread is better than Ratchet and Clank. I don't believe it's better than Deathloop, so it's knocked out of the list right away. I'm surprised to see a Resident Evil there. It makes me want to skip 7 and jump to 8 because it's got to be great if they threw it up for
doesn't have to be.
Year. I really loved Ratchet and Clank. I got the Platinum Trophy. That game was phenomenal, start to finish. I think, for me, the game of the year is Deathloop.
Wow.
Again, I didn't play It Takes Two. I'm seeing Dad Heavy also said out of these 6, It Takes Two, I guess. I heard great things now that the awards are out. I didn't hear great things when it came out, so I'm like, torn. Is it really good, or is it just getting a lot of press right now? We got to play through it.
Makes you wonder.
We got to play through it.
Makes you wonder. We do. We'll have to give you guys maybe a special stream where we do a little bit of It Takes Two.
I know. I really enjoyed A Way Out. So, yeah, we're going to have to run through It Takes Two. I think they actually added It Takes Two to Game Pass.
And maybe we'll have to play tomorrow or something if you're on.
I mean, I will be after work. You know, like I said, I don't have any days off this month until Christmas, and that's only if they give me Christmas off. But,
right.
You know, I get out at 3:30, so it ain't like we can't play later in the day.
That's true. Might have to give these people It Takes Two. We'll have to see what it's all about. But as of right now, when I look at this list of 6, I say Ratchet and Clank rips apart.
I mean, you might be right, and I haven't finished Psychonauts 2, but a buddy of mine at work did, and that's his game of the year. He told me when I finish it, I'm going to say it's game of the year. Maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. Right now, I've finished Ratchet and Clank, and I haven't finished Deathloop, and I'm going to give it to Deathloop. The game, it's just so fun. So fun to play through and try different styles. I really love that in a game. One thing I can say for Ratchet is, like, outside of changing your weapon, you don't really change, like, how you go through the stages. Deathloop, you can do everything different every time you go through, and it's just really fun.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, really, for me, that's it. Game of the year done. So that's all of our categories.
Yeah.
I know we had planned to have some trailers to show here too, but with the resizing issue that you had earlier, I was thinking it was probably better to just go like we did. I hope your live viewers enjoyed it. It was nice interacting with you guys, especially Dad Heavy. You came really strong in the chat box. You guys can all get dressed now because I am ready to sign off. You got anything to say before I click the stop button, Swain?
No, I mean, I look forward to watching the Game Awards, of course. Hopefully we do see something about Skate 4, but that's just me pulling the predictions out of my ass. So, we'll see. Maybe the next WoW expansion. Whoa, no. But I'm looking forward to it. Jeff Keighley tends to put on a good show. Tends to really seem to care about the gaming community, and I like Jeff Keighley a lot. He really has done a good job.
Yeah.
keeping us interactive and updated on games through hard times. So he's done his best. He's put his front foot forward, giving his best efforts, and I
Absolutely,
respect him
absolutely.
and I
Between
appreciate him.
I mean, I
So
remember when he did the video game awards like in a basement. He's been pushing to make gaming more mainstream for years. He did Summer Game Fest, so we weren't left without an E3 of any kind.
yeah,
The only knock I put on him is he's a little bit of a Sony homer. Like I have them all. I have the PlayStation, I have the Xbox, I have the Switch. You know that. But I'm not gonna sit here and just like shill for one company. They all do something good. I'm certain that Jeff Keighley,
you're saying
dope as he
you're
is,
saying he just locks into Sony, like he's just locked in, right? Like a homing device, like just
yes,
like locked into
he
Sony. Yeah.
100 like, dude, the way he went off about the DualSense, which is a dope controller, and I really enjoy it. I don't know. It was like he was in love. It was like they got married or something. If I found out he was married to a PlayStation 5, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. There's probably a state
he
where
might
you
be.
do that.
He might be. He might be.
Oh, you know what? Before I do cut off, anyone listening live, you're already on the channel. Anyone listening on the YouTube, check out the Green Sween. It's on the screen. Twitch, Green Sween. Twitter, you got @TheGreenSween. He's an up-and-coming streamer on Twitch. Does a lot of WoW stuff. He does play some Phasmophobia and a couple other games mixed in here and there. What are you up to now, Sween? About 400 followers, I think, last time I checked.
We're close. I think we are. We could check that right now. We are at 387.
387. So you're 13 off.
Hopefully we'll have 400 by the end of the night. We still got about 5 hours of streaming minimum, so I'm sure we'll go 5 hours, if not 6, 7.
Yeah, get that number flying up there. I want to see 500. Screw 400. I want to see 500.
I want to see 500 by the end of 2022. That's where the goal's at. I set the goal. I think we can do it. But we already got such a great following, and we only plan on expanding and getting better, right? So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Again, thanks everyone for live checking it out. Letting me kind of cut into Sween's stream over here with our podcast. And Sween, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, thank you for joining. Seriously, it's obviously, it's something we started with. Like I said, it wouldn't be any streaming if it didn't, come to us doing our podcast first, and then, to bring back the Game Awards segment. That was definitely one of my favorite segments we did to begin with. So, to do it live this time and really have you the chat with us the whole time and have a bunch of people stop in and just give feedback. We really appreciate you guys, and I thank you guys in advance. Seriously, it made it a lot more fun, especially doing the podcast with you guys talking, so we can answer some things as we go. You give us more to talk about. So
Definitely.
thank you for that. But no, I really don't got anything else to say. But let's have a better 2022 based on those anticipated games. I feel like it could be.
Yeah, the most anticipated, God of War, just like I said.
Yeah. All right. So I want you to think about this really quick. Before we do sign off, think about the most anticipated game and then those game of the years that are on your screen right now and which one stacks up.
None of them.
Like you're saying, like I'm saying, which game release year are you taking? The 5 that they showed anticipated, if they are what they are going to be, or this one right here?
The anticipated games.
Yeah.
The least anticipated game on that list is better than every game I'm looking at. And I really loved Ratchet & Clank. I loved Metroid Dread. I'm loving Deathloop, and I'm being told I'm going to love It Takes Two. So,
we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
It Takes Two.
All right.
Green Sween signing off of Red Cloud on the YouTube. Guys, take care, YouTube channel.
Yep.
If you guys on my Twitch haven't found them already, Red Cloud Gamer over on Twitch, over on YouTube, guys, make sure you guys give them a follow, like, and subscribe.
Word. Definitely appreciate it if you do.